Hey, g'day guys, Calvin from the Cartoon Company. We're just having a Saturday morning job on a little bit of a Hilux. This Hilux is reasonably large, and my lack of height does mean that I have to sit on my ladder, work on the ladder. But I came in to do a air pump. We'll have a bit of a look in here. Normal Cartoon, it's got a Lexus in it. Hilux Surf. So down here was just totally covered in oil and shit and crap. Had to remove the airbox, and the customer has fitted up a Powersteer cooler, which I always recommend when you're doing a Powersteer pump on the four-wheel drive, especially when it's got the big wheels. Here's the Powersteer pump. So this one has the idle up on the side, but it was never connected. So the replacement pump, I've blanked that off. So that's been blanked. This is the early model Gen 1 or Gen 2 pump. They all interchange, and it's originally off a front sump engine because it's got the idle up on the body of the pump. And you can see it's totally covered in oil. There's an O-ring in here that leaks. They leak out of this seal, and they leak out of the front seal as well. So I rebuilt one going on. But at the same time, we decided we better just check the alternator. This man plays in the mud, and I was going to give it a clean, and then I thought I'd pull the brushes out and have a look. You can see the brushes here are reasonable, but I had trouble extracting them out of the back of the alternator. So we'll have a look at that slip ring. You can see here, massive lips where it's worn the slip ring out. So there's your slip ring. So totally worn out. So a good opportunity for us to put another alternator on, which we've got a replacement Japanese alternator to go into the vehicle at the same time. So that's really common when you're doing Powersteer pumps, that you should check that alternator at the same time. Same as on the yellow ute I just did. Check the alternator, same sort of thing, full of oil and crap. So let's put this thing back together and give it a bleed up. Here's the cooler. We can actually see the cooler hanging off the front here. That's going to help that Powersteer pump last a bit longer. So looking at this, I believe most of the leaks coming from the control valve, the pressure valve setup. There's an O-ring in there, and I've seen quite a few of them leak, and it leaks down the inside of the engine. Just as a bit of maintenance, I thought I'd press some new bearings in to the top idler and the tensioner bearing. So this one was actually quite grumbly, so that's this bearing here. And this one felt okay, but when we got it out, not as bad as the first one, but still quite grumbly. So I've got to do actually a proper video on how to do that in your vices at home. They're pretty simple, and the bearings are easy to get. But that's just what we did on this one, so it remains reliable. The alternator's in, Powersteer pump is in, and the cooler lines are set up. And we set it up so the hot comes into the top of the cooler. Of course, it flows down, cold always falls and out the bottom. It's not strictly necessary, but it's certainly the best practice to have it going the correct way, same as a radiator. It's not very warm though, it's only about 20 degrees maybe. That's definitely getting some temperature through it, that's good. Power steering pump's back on, nice and quiet, so I'm happy with that. So this one has my manual shifter in it. So it's got the little unit here, allows us to shift it through. So I have to move the shifter for each gear, so that's in low. It comes up here on number 1, move it into 2, there's second, move it into third, into drive, that's third gear, push the button and that gives it 4th gear. So it's awesome for off-roading. Really impressed the way it works off-road. We're just checking this coolant comes up properly and bleeds properly. Happy with the power steering. Yes.
Yeah, with the cap
So we
on,
got-
you can see there's quite a good whirlpool in that reservoir. Yeah, like it's too much exposure.
We got like 47, 48 at the top. This is sitting still, so there's no airflow. Well, it's cooler at the bottom because it's dropping temperature. So at the bottom, 40, 38. 38, 39. We're losing 8 degrees. Just sitting there. Yeah, it drops that temperature down on that pump a lot. So when you're up and driving, it'll make a big difference. And it just makes those pumps last longer. It won't work any better, it'll just last longer and the fluid won't cook. So just a good general purpose G3, DX3 will be fine. I can shut that. I need my step ladder. Good now? Kelly? Is there room in the back? Yeah, there'll be room in the back. Squeeze in the back, I'll move the seat forward.
This side go. Anyway, there.
Test drive time, down the test drive track.
I'm not coming there.
Over the back there. We're going to go through the gates. Yeah, just head down to the quarry will be good.
Not in 4-wheel drive, but I don't need to be, eh?
No, don't need to be a 4-wheel drive for this.
No.
Just a gentle drive down the test drive track. So here's with the shifter. Paul's put it right back into first, displaying that it's in first, and it's not going to change out of that until he moves it forward into second. If you don't have any controls for the gearbox, then you won't get 3rd gear. So you have to have a control system of some sort for the gearbox to work in a proper manual shift setup. So you're pushing cars at Bay Park tonight?
Yep. Yeah.
Good workout.
Yeah, good work, yeah.
New power steering system and you're pushing around stock cars.
Feels nice, feels good.
Yep. Yeah. It's nice and light. The noise initially when you start up is just the air moving around.
Yeah.
Once that's sorted, cleans up nice.
Yeah.
And that cooler will actually, as it's getting some airflow, it'll drop the temperature more than the 8 or 9 degrees that we're getting just sitting in the workshop.
And just to see what it's going to be when you get back there.
How do you find that auto compared to the manual pushing stock cars?
It's just so much better. Like I can just
race the boats in the jet sprint part of the track.
Oh,
In the bay park.
oh is it?
They cut it all out
Yeah.
and then they race the boats. They didn't do it this season.
Oh, disappointing. Do you know why?
Just a little bit of politics behind it. That's fine.
There was a lot of people who were very keen to go there this year, including myself. It was a great event.
Yeah. Very good spectator. It's,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's like the sprint cars. If they can get them in and out neatly,
Yeah.
you get a really good event.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the best spectator sports ever, I reckon.
Yeah.
Stadium.
What a great test drive track. We'll just do a loop up this track, down that track, and back. It feels good though, eh?
Oh,
It's lovely.
yeah. There's no noises when I turn either. Just am I going?
Just up the side of that fence,
Oh yeah.
and then at the top, just follow that around, and we'll just go down that track over there.
Flicker into low ratio. Actually.
Oh, you'd hardly need to worry.
I would normally have play.
Oh, you want to have play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not in forward drive. It's still on two-wheel drive there. I've got to flick the hubs.
I was coming down here the other day with a guy in a little Suzuki, and I climbed up that bank over there. I'd actually going further.
Going this way,
Yeah.
eh?
So I'd gone down, and I got up here and up the next one, and he'd stopped talking to me. And I went to go up the next bank. And I felt this hand on my leg, and he was like scared shitless, eh? Poor guy. I wasn't going to go up it. I just turned around. I go up it, but Pete climbed up to the corner. He was nutty. So down there.
Okay. No brake. That's holding.
That's actually sitting in first,
Sitting in first.
and it's actually engine braking down here.
Yep, engine brake.
You're actually not even on those brakes.
I'm not even on the brakes. Haven't got my foot
Oh
near it.
wow,
Isn't that good?
that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's very neat. Yeah, cool. And we'll just head back along that fence line. So you've managed, because you can hold it back.
Yeah.
It's got some engine braking happening in there.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realise you got engine braking quite to that extent.
Yeah. That's neat, eh?
33 degrees. It's after a drive. So it's dropped the heat, more temperature, and we were just putting.
Yeah.
So that's going to be much better. Oh, you ran into my thing. Lucky it's been reinforced, eh? Just turn the steering. Just pop that bonnet open. I can't reach, remember? Who did the bump in the bonnet? It is really high if you've got a bump in a bonnet.
Yeah, it didn't need to be there. I thought it was a bump in the bonnet. How much horsepower?
The front as well. Yeah, the bearing not making noise.
Bearing, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that fluid's looking good. It's been leaking so bad, it's pretty much given it a flush.
Yeah.
Look at that. How was that even working?